Today we're going to learn how to make a beautiful beaded necklace with double knotting. I learned this technique from another YouTuber. Her name is Karen, and I'll link her channel in the description and try to find the exact video. She made a bracelet this way, and I was wondering if I could repurpose it into making a necklace. So I actually needed a few extra tools. The first tool you'll need though is a wide-eye needle, a beading needle. I'm using my Bead Buddy. This is silk beading cord that I got from Michaels, and usually it comes in a variety pack, or I think you can buy all white cording if you want. I have some 18K plated beading findings. If you have sensitive skin, you might want to invest in some good metal findings. You'll need a clamshell bead finding. So some of them have hooks, some of them don't. They can be made of silver or gold plated metal. But today I'm using a gold plated one. You'll notice that it has a little hole in the middle, and you feed the needle through this hole. I also have some crimping beads, but that's just for extra security. You don't really need it. I don't have any in silver, so I don't use them for my silver necklaces, but because I already have them, it's just something extra you can add to it. I'm using semi-precious stones, so I'm using painted jasper and some gold stone. This person's favorite color is gold, obviously, but I didn't just want to use gold stone, so I had to use something that matched. And I always get my semi-precious stones from either Michaels or Joann's, and usually I wait for a nice sale. You can usually find them buy one get three free, or you'll find them like for $2.99 or $3.99 each. You could definitely see the quality in the stones instead of using plastic, but if all you have is plastic and you can't catch a sale, and you just have plastic or glass, the way this necklace is constructed, it makes anything look really fancy. I'm using my Bead Buddy to keep my thread in place. So you can actually just tie it or make a knot, but I like using these because you waste a lot less thread this way, and it's not permanent, because sometimes if you accidentally tie a knot too tight, it just takes you too long to undo it. Kind of think of it like Pac-Man. So the little clamshell is always going to be pointed towards the end of the cording. Once you get that on, you actually add your crimping bead if you're using one. Now you want to go ahead and arrange a pattern you like. I'm using like a little beading mat, and you don't have to have one of these, but it just makes life easier when you want to measure it, make sure it's the right size, and make sure you have the pattern you want and it holds it in place. Once you get your pattern, go ahead and start feeding your beads with the needle and let them fall to the Bead Buddy. You want to finish with a crimping bead, and also you want to finish with another clamshell finding. When I'm done adding beads, I go ahead and snip the silk cord away from the needle, and then I go ahead and tie some knots, and I try to push that clamshell towards the end of that knot to make it a tight knot. And also I usually do about 3 knots, and I close the clamshell around the knot. So you probably can fit about 3 in there. And you want to make sure you don't do more than that, because it won't close right, or it'll stand out and it looks kind of ridiculous. I know somebody's gonna say, why didn't you burn the cord? And to that I say, my husband doesn't let me around fire unsupervised. I'm kidding, I just don't really have a good lighter. As long as you trim it nice, you don't really need it. I'm using needle nose pliers with like wire cutters in them. You have your knot inside the clamshell and you've shut it. You want to go ahead and crimp your bead into place. Once you've done that, that's when you put the first knot. I usually do this just to make sure the metal doesn't scrape against the semi-precious stones. It's just a little bit easier to go ahead and make a knot. And be careful, because sometimes if you use a clamshell that has a hook on it, sometimes it might get caught in the thread, but it's okay. It's pretty easy to untangle. Just be careful. Pull it to the right and then flip it back under and pull it back to the left. And then you just pull the cord and make a tight knot. And again, I'm going to show you again. Take it to the right, pull it under, pull it to the left, and then tighten the cord. To show you a few times, because I'm kind of I have really bad spatial reasoning, so it took me a while to get it. So hopefully doing it a couple of times will help you get it too. And it's actually, once you get a hang of it, it is such a relaxing activity. Like most of the time I make these while watching TV or editing one of the novels I'm writing, or just watching YouTube or anything pretty much, because once you get the muscle memory down, you don't actually have to look at it. Every now and then you might not knot it perfectly into place, so you might have to untie it and take care of that, but it's not really hard to untie it, so it's not that big of a deal. But after a while you won't even have to look at it. You just naturally feel how to do it, and it's kind of like knitting. You just don't even notice it. It's just very soothing. I actually enjoy it a lot. Now, once we're done knotting all of our beads, we're going to go ahead and finish with another crimping bead, and then we're going to release the bead buddy and tie another 3 knots and close the clamshell. So here I'm just closing the hook and I'm attaching it to one of the rings, and I'm going to then attach the clasp to a ring. You can actually bend most of these findings with your fingers, but it just gives you a more secure close when you use pliers. Going to then attach the clasp to the ring, and that's how we finish this necklace. This is another necklace I made for my husband's coworker. It's actually lava stone and onyx, so it came out really pretty, and I used black silk cord, and it's just gorgeous. This is also for one of my husband's coworkers, and her birthstone is like sapphire, so I tried to find some semi-precious stones that kind of look like sapphire, and I think these turn out well. Anyways, I hope this was an easy and quick tutorial to follow, and I hope you can make your loved ones and friends and coworkers some really nice jewelry, and also not break your bank trying to buy presents. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and please comment below what you want to see me make next.